Alright everybody, let's do some chores, shall we? Gotta feed our pigs here. Couple of guys in there. These guys in here. And their calves. This little guy is gonna be excited. He gets his bottles. I'll try to set this up where everybody can see it. Let's see how this goes. Okay, making some bottles. Set that there. Gotta make up our bottles of the calf. Hook replacer. Got hot water in here. Feed our calf. Not him, this guy. I feed these calves first. This guy here, because he's on a bottle. Takes the longest. So it's the easiest to feed him first, and I can go about feeding the pigs and everybody else, because these guys, once they get their food gone, they really like to play. So gotta flip the trough over, clean the hay out, so we can feed them. So he gets the bottle, and then Cheech over here, the big guy, he gets just a grain mix. We'll do that in a minute. Saying hi. You say hi, Cheech. Trying to eat my coveralls here. Apparently they must taste good. Now he's gonna get 2 bottles. I only have a 2-quart bottle, and he's 3.5 weeks old, so see, they're friendly, so they all want to be right here. But I give them 2 bottles, so about a gallon twice a day. 2-quart bottle. Milk replacer. You guys are buying milk replacer to feed bottle calves. Recommend that you buy high quality milk replacer. It makes a very big difference in the health of your cows. You don't want to be feeding them, you know, the cheapest you can buy. Ideally, if we had bigger cows, he would just be with his mother, but these are what we have right now, so bottle it is. So that's one. Well, he's going to try to get out because he's wants more. So we'll make up the other one here. This bag said it came with a scooper, but I think it's in the other end of the bag, so just use this from the kitchen. I'm sure my wife's real happy about that, but mix that up. This is roughly 12 ounces of powder replacer to 2 quarts. A 1/3 scooper, so if you're doing that, there's 8 ounces in a cup, so you need 1.5 cups, give or take, of milk replacer. That being a 1/3 cup, it gets us pretty close. And I just have hot water to put in there. I do not have hot water in the barn, but we have water in the barn, so bring hot water from the house so we can mix this up. Anybody's wondering what I consider high quality, this is what we're feeding. Do more medicated calf replacer, milk replacer. This is you can see 2020 is the blend. Now I would prefer a higher protein blend. I really like 2420, but person that I got the calf from, he was already feeding it 2020 blend, and so for the health of the animal, keep the calf from getting scours or anything, stick with the same formula that he was already getting, and then we don't have to worry about causing any digestive health issues or giving the calf scours, which is diarrhea. And you can see in here, animal health wise, what you're looking at is, we are looking at their manure. We're all standing on it now, but he's got you know, he doesn't have any scours or anything. He's got, it's loose manure, but it's normal for a calf. There, we got a little one there. We don't want diarrhea. It can be thin, but diarrhea means that he's not getting enough nutrients, or he's not processing the nutrients he is getting, and that's going to tell us that we need to change his diet or do some medication. I think this bottle's mixed up good. You can see he's trying to get out. He thinks that you know, he's got to have that bottle. It's everything he can do to get that bottle. So we're going to finish feeding them. And then we got to get them some water. And grain will be okay. We don't need to get grain tonight for them. These guys, though, these are all, they're going to get fed. We got to get some, mix up some food here. We're low on the dog food. I feed them the dog food. We get that from local business around the corner from us here in another town. They reprocess that dog food and grind it. They grind it down to a powder, and then it's a ration mix. They sell that. They resell that. It's good for your chickens, good for your pigs. You can get that sometimes at like a Cargill facility or another feed mill. I'm not sure off the top of my head who they feed it or who they sell it to, but I do know that I have the option to go directly to the plant and pick it up. So it's not too expensive either. It's about $225 a ton, $250 a ton. And I can feed out the 25 pigs that we have. That ton of dog food mix will last us roughly a month and a half ish. You figure we're getting and feeding about 50 to 100 pounds a day, so 20 to 25 days, give or take, depending on the amount that we're feeding them and what else we're feeding them. I do supplement them. I work with a bunch of local other people around here in businesses that, pigs are omnivores, so pigs can eat pretty much everything. Generally, you do not want to feed them any meat, raw meat, or cooked meat, but you go to a restaurant and talk to the restaurants, and they throw out all their vegetables. They have a scrap bucket normally that would go in the garbage. We have a couple places we work with. We go to them and we collect their food scraps, and then part of the pig's diet is the food scraps. And everybody says, oh, food scraps, but I mean, we ate it at the restaurant. You think about that, the people are there, they're buying their food, they're eating their food, and we're getting the kitchen scraps, which is all the trimmings and everything off of the fruits and the vegetables and pasta. And pigs are omnivores, so they can eat everything there. Cows, on the other hand, cows cannot have that. They do make, that supplier I get to feed for the pigs from, they do make a cattle blend to feed as well. Cattle's a ruminant animal, so cattle's, goats, horses, they're going to chew their cud, which means they actually eat a whole bunch, regurgitate it, and chew it up again and swallow it, so it kind of ferments. They have 4-chambered stomach, and that changes their diet, so they can't have the same food that the pigs have, so they will get a mixture of grain. So right now what we feed them is we have the hay. They get free choice of the hay all day long, and then they also get free choice of the grain mix, which that's steamed rolled corn, crimped oats, some all stock sweet feed, and a little bit of soy on top, so that gives them a nice blended ration of protein, fiber, and fat in there. Protein is the soy and the corn, fiber is the hay and the oats, and the fat is from the corn and the soy, and then the sweet feed that's got the molasses on, just a little treat for them. It's a lower protein for a growing calf, so that runs about, give or take, 14 to 16% protein. I mix all of my own feed because it's cheaper. I don't buy pre-mixed food for them. So rough estimate, the goal is to shoot for 14 to 16% protein. As they get older, that'll drop down the age of the animal, size of the animal. That reduces the protein. The Cheech has got the zoomies here, so he's real excited for dinner time. You can see he's getting nice and full now. That's what we want to see. Up here in New York, Western New York here. Gets cold, so feed him a little extra in the winter time. Not too much extra. You give him too much, he's just going to get sick. He'll get lethargic. But we want to feed him enough to make sure that he's well fed and he stays warm. Hence the hot water is for. We will move to, this will be his feeding bucket here soon. That should hold roughly, I think it'll hold a gallon, so it'll be close. We'll start changing him to feeding him with that bucket here soon, being that he's only 3 weeks old. That's a little too young right now. I'd like to wait till he's about 6 weeks old. So another 3 weeks of bottle feeding, and then we'll switch over to the bucket. So, all right, so that's the cows as far as the getting the milk fed to the calf. Now we're gonna start working on these pigs. These are we got their mangalistas here. She'll get right up, say hi. Everybody talks about, oh, gotta be careful. Treat your animals right, they'll treat you right. That's what I have to say. So we've got those pigs to feed. We got our lionhead bunny to feed in here. He doesn't get much. I mean, he just needs a little bit of water, which he's got water now. So we're good there. He's got his oats, he's got his hay, so he's good. Put you down, and we will get to mixing our dog food. If I can get the camera, there we go. Set that up there. Mix up the dog food. So this is, we got some sugar beets we got from a person, some oats, crimped oats, and then the dog food in there. Just mix them up together and feed these guys out here. we got them food. Now we gotta get them some water. Put these hydrants in here. This works great. Last year, trenched it out. It's 4 foot in the ground. So it doesn't freeze, runs from the house. Fill that up. These guys here got their buckets together on a string here, so I don't have to climb in and get them every time. There we go with them. These guys some water. Let's get some more for them. So there, water and food for these guys. Water and food for these guys. Got water and food for the calves. Push up the hay a little bit here. Seems to work okay. Side of their pens, cattle panel. Push it through a little bit. They seem to enjoy that just like that. We've got our pigs that are outside yet. And we've got local bakery. Gives us their leftover bread, so these guys get the this leftover bread out here. And we got a whole box of bagels of bread here. Bagels, donuts, bread. Just take this whole box over there. So if this gets noisy, I apologize, but try to pick this up. Alright. I'll feed these guys here. There we go. Now they've got lots of other sources of food. There's little Mr. Big there. There's our Juliana boar. These are the Mangalistas. These guys here are all of our crossbreeds. So Potbelly, Juliana. He's a purebred Potbelly, I think. Might be a coon. She is a Potbelly Juliana crossbreed. Those are her babies behind her. Those are Mangalista Potbelly crossbreeds. You see they're almost the size of her. And those guys are about 3 months old there. And then we've got one of our chickens decided to come out of the thing there. They've got all their feed right there. And then I'll show you this clear water we got set up. So we had these 2 pens and we have to separate them, otherwise I'm getting piglets at times that I don't want piglets when the boars are together. So here you can see they've got their trough with feed. And I've got this set up in between the 2 pens here, so I've got this water trough. Have to get them some water here. But that sits in between this fence I made. This is just pallets. A couple of nails together, but they're basically just leaning. But that allows me to water both the boars and the mixed breed pigs here. One shot. I don't have to worry about individual watering in that heater. It doesn't keep it completely unfrozen with the weather, but it keeps it unfrozen enough that if they need to come over, they can break the ice off the top. And they do pretty good with that. And they can still get a drink of water when they need it. We'll go in here, get ourselves another pail of water, take out there to them. And this is TMG Industrial Building, if anybody is wondering. This is 30 feet wide, 40 feet long, and for the money, it's pretty good. It's $3,500. It's not super strong, but it's a building, just third floor, but this building is not leaking, so it keeps the animals dry. Nice thing with animals is generally they don't need to be warm. Piglets, of course, some calves, yes, newborns, they need warmth, but not like, you know, it doesn't have to be 90 degrees in here. It just needs to be warm enough. Out of the wind is the big one. Staying dry out of the rain is the second big one. So that does its job. It's just nailed to the ground. I say nailed to the ground, staked to the ground. It has, every post has a set of holes in the bottom, and it's just staked into the ground like a big tent. At a circus with the long metal rods, or 5-foot rods, and they get hammered in almost all the way, I would say, to 6 inches to the top. But there we got our water, a little floating pond master here. I said it works good enough. There's some ice that I dug out. You can see it still freezes, but it's starting to get thick, so I cleaned it out this morning. And that takes care of the feeding of animals. Now I'm going to go check on the chickens. And the Taj McChicken over here. This is our camper. I was given this camper. We moved and we didn't have a house yet. So very blessed. We had some nice friends of ours actually gave us this camper, and we had this one and we had another one, and these were our home for about 6 months. We stayed with a friend in their yard, and when we were done with them, This one that they gave to us, they said, well, we don't want it back. It's pretty old. You guys can have it. So we brought it with us when we bought our house. And we just had it, and said, okay, what do we do with it? I said, well, we can put our chickens in it, and so far so good. So they've got water. That's a heated water just in case here. They've got food, this big barrel full of food. Give me some presents here. Got a couple of eggs, not too many in the wintertime. Usually we get 2, sometimes 3 eggs in the wintertime. Go in the bag here. Usually we get 2, sometimes 3 eggs in the wintertime. Go in the bag here. I'll get the vents open like that, but that's it. We just got them. They hang out here. Sink's a little full, but well, it's easy to clean though. We scrape it out and then we wash it out in the spring here. We'll scrape all this out, all the manure out, and then we will hose it down. Oh, we got another one there. So we got 3. Let's see if I can open these doors here. As you can see, we've got, these guys like to hide up in here. So chickens everywhere, and there's more in there. Got my hands full of that. Open it though. And let's give them an option to go in and out of the weather. Same with chickens. They don't need to be warm, but they need to be dry. So that keeps them dry, and it doesn't cost us anything. So I've got one that I just cracked the egg. Almost put that in my pocket. We'll give that to the pigs. Pigs can have your eggs. It's good for them. These guys. They got an egg. There you go. Yes, the rooster will eat it too. These guys are happy. They've got food. There we go. Here's Kayla. Are you helping, Kayla? No? Well, say hi.
Hi.
One of my daughters. So we've got everybody fed, got everybody watered, got a couple of eggs here. Hit myself in the face with the door, so now I've got a bunch of dirt on my face, I think. I don't know, I can't see. Those in our bucket. Take that inside with us. Well, everybody seems to be happy. These girls are a little messy. They like to play with their food, but they will eat most of that. For those of you who don't know about pigs, pigs are inherently clean animals. You notice that they're not full of mud right now. The floor in this pen, you know, there's some manure on it, but the pigs are very particular. They do not like to be laying in their own feces or anything. So same with these guys. You know, they've got a spot right here, right there in the corner. That's where they go to the bathroom. And then they've got a spot right here in the corner. So this is 16 by 12-ish beds. I've got that blocked off just because I don't want to have to clean it again. They don't need it. They've got plenty of room. But you can see in there, that's real clean. They don't go to the bathroom where they sleep. They will not eat this food. If I put that trough too close to that manure, they won't eat it. They're very particular about that. A lot of people think pigs are dirty and nasty, but generally that's just because of where they are kept. And that's the same with these guys. You can see that they actually they kick their manure right out the end here, the pen. the benefit of the pallet wood too. Now I can clean up here on the ground, and I don't have to climb in there. But inside here, I've got this here set up for them, and you can see they've got a spot in there. See if it'll focus on there. There we go. So that's their manure spot there, and then this here, this is their bedding spot. So they separate themselves from their own manure. Then we got the old four-wheeler here. We use that generally in the summer. I don't have a lot of property to be worried about running around and chasing animals or anything, but they do get out from time to time, as everybody who has animals would know. Have to have a way to get them, so we have the four-wheeler. Does the job. With that, get a little bit of water left in here. We'll put that in the rabbits' water. And the same thing here. This rabbit hutch is pretty nice, but we got that again for free. So we'll give him this water here. A little hay feeder is just I just took a piece of bale twine and grabbed a handful of hay and wrapped it up, and that's what he eats, and that works. And I can move it up and down here. I just got it kind of held in. Well, it's light, so and that he can reach that. Pretty friendly bunny. Some people's I don't know. We've had a lot of bunnies, and sometimes they actually, out of all the animals, they are quick to bite. So if you're at the fair and it says, "Don't pet me, I bite," I would believe it. I have been bitten. I don't mind rabbits, but they do bite. So got that going on there. I don't know if we have anything else to do today, so we can just look here. We'll have to get some. We got some hay. We got to buy some more hay here. We currently don't have a way to make my own hay yet. That's on the list of things to do, but get yourself, if you are friends with anybody who has horses, talk to them. Pigs, cows, and chickens are not really particular about the hay that they're eating as long as it's not moldy. However, there is specific hay that horses need for their diet, and sometimes they won't eat different types of hay. So these are what we have here. That's what they are. A friend of ours has horses. His horses, this is good horse hay as far as what a person who is raising horses looks for. Long stem. It's not very dusty at all, but his horses wouldn't eat it. He said, "Hey, hey, can I get rid of this hay with you?" And we did a little back and forth trading. So he's borrowing the brush hog we have for the tractor, and we got a wagon load of hay. So I think that's a pretty good trade. He got something he needed, I got something I needed. That's how I like to do everything. I am, being a homestead person, I am very much against using money to pay for things. I like to trade goods and services. I think that's the way that everybody should do everything. I feel that it would make a better way of life for everybody in the world if we could just go about our business and we didn't need money. You need something done, I need something done, we make an agreement, we trade. You can do one thing for me, I can do one thing for you, and we both get what we want, and we both end up with the result we need. We don't need to be, oh, I gotta go to work and get money. We just trade back and forth. So you understand we can't do that every day, but I try to do that as much as possible. Everything you've seen here today, all of these things, there's only a few things that we bought. So we got tractor, of course. We've got the feed here that we showed earlier with the milk replacer. Those are the kind of things we got to buy, obviously. But these refrigerators and freezers, these are what I use for food storage because we're out here in the dirt floor, and you need something to keep the mice out of. You need something to keep the rats out of, and what other animals. And freezer it's waterproof for the most part. Obviously, there's some drains in it, but it's waterproof. It's got a lot of space. It's metal is the big thing. And you can lay them on their side. I'm not plugging them in. I don't need to keep it cool. I don't care if it works. It's got the rubber gasket around the outside. It's a heavy door. This one is mainly for the dog food. We use a lot of these when we get the dog food mixed from the guy there. Like this one here, it's got our bag of sweet feed because I ran out of room. But that's all lined in plastic. That baby is waterproof, so it's heavy. The door is heavy. It's on its side at the fridge. Sealed, keeps the moisture out, keeps the food in. Here, this one we use for oats. Now it's got the fan thing in the back, so I'm sure there's some that's fallen in there, but I'm fairly confident. We're not going to get a mouse in there or a rat in there because it's got to go through all that. We put the oats in that one. This one here was we put the corn in. Same thing. It's got a little hole in the back for, I think that was the ice machine or something over there, but it's plastic. It's insulated. We took the door pieces off. See, this got that. We just knocked that, whatever the door trays were, but those are sugar beets. That's what we were cutting up earlier. Somebody gave us a bag of sugar beets that they couldn't get rid of. But that's what we do. We put all the food in there, stores it up. This box here, this is another one we picked up when we bought our cattle trailer from a guy. He said, hey, I've got all these things. I'm moving. I don't need them. You're more than welcome to them. So we got this box here. It's some kind of shipping crate. It's pretty fancy, pretty heavy, well built. It was free, The camper, all of these pallets. There's a supplier of concrete in town. They are very particular about their pallets. They don't like these pallets for whatever reason. They specify that they have to have I guess they call it a 4-string. I'm not really sure, but this has, you see, it's got the 3 blocks on it. The pallets that they like have 4 of those blocks on the bottom because they're putting concrete. So whenever they get anything in, they just put all these pallets out at the side of the road, drive by with the trailer, and we pick it up, and it's free. I've got, when we put the hydrants in, there's some money there, but that water line system is 250 feet of water line, and it comes off our house, and so we had to run a trencher to put that in, and we had to buy our hydrants and put all that together. But all said and done, $300 to run water, to have water out here at the barn, and it doesn't freeze in the winter. I do have it at the house. We kind of cheated. We did not bury it and put it through the wall and hook it up directly, all the things that we should have done. But what we did instead was we hooked it up to the spigot that's on the outside of the house, and then we bought some of that heat tape you would put on your hoses, and we put that on the end of the spigot at the house. We wrapped it up. We got some of the foam insulation. We put the foam insulation on it, and we dug a little trench and we buried it as much as possible after it was heat taped and insulated. And then we put additional insulation. We had some, I don't know what exactly, it was fire rock or what, but it was insulation. It's waterproof insulation, so it's foam stuff, and we put that around it, and it's been good enough. For New York, it's pretty cold. We've been down to, not super cold, but down cold enough to where it would freeze, and so far so good. No water is frozen. This fencing, all these fence posts I got, the fence outside around the pasture, that there, you can see we've got all that poly fencing and everything. We got that, another free one. Somebody had advertised it on the internet. They were going to sell it. They wanted a couple $100 for the fencing. So we talked to them. They said, oh yeah, somebody's coming to get it. It's already sold. So we said, okay. Well, then the person got back a hold of us a couple weeks later and said, hey, whoever came to get it, they decided that they couldn't get them out of the ground. I need it gone. Please, can you come get it and get it for free? So we did. We went out there. We actually took the four-wheeler with the winch. It has a winch on the front, and we pulled them, all them 8-foot fence posts. I think we got 50 fence posts and 3,000 or 4,000 feet of high tensile and poly wire for free. It's a lot of work, obviously. Anybody that deals with fencing, high tensile wire especially, it doesn't like to be coiled up. It's kind of a pain to deal with, but it was free and it took us some time, and we were able to make a nice pasture. And then we ran, we got a little single line of electric out here as well. We put that in with the water. It was one of the things I wanted to do. I can't really, I can't run anything substantial, but I have the heated water in the chicken coop there. So we've got power to that, and then we've got a light in here. Well, appreciate everybody that joined our live here. I think that we've got everything done. Thanks for coming along for chores. We'll see you next time.